everyone. Welcome to another webinar with Learning Jar. I am Ayushi Chakraborty, an educator at Learning Jar. The topic for today's webinar is EdTech Toolkit for Teachers. So, without any further ado, let's welcome the director and founder of Learning Jar, Ms. Ritika Tyagi.
Hi, hello everyone. So, welcome to another session with Learning Jar. Today's session is going to be really very great. And today's session is all about learning the new tools, the new EdTech tools that teachers can find useful in their classroom, in the teaching learning process. The guest for today is a dear friend of mine, Ms. Shilpa Gandhi, who is an educator and tech integrator. She's an Apple Learning Professional Specialist and an Apple teacher. I welcome Ms. Shilpa to the session. Hi, Shilpa
Hel-
ma'am.
Hello, Ritika. Hello, Ayushi. Very good
Welcome,
Hi,
ma'am.
evening.
how are you doing?
Very well, thank you. And thank you for the warm welcome. And I look forward to this session. I am here to add value with whatever I know to our guests over here today at the session.
Great. We all are looking forward to the session today and learn lots of new things from you.
Yes.
I would request all the teachers, those who have joined us, to tell us from where they are joining, which school they are working currently, and what are their favorite edtech tools. So please keep the chat active. And if you have any question that you want to ask Ms. Shilpa or me, you can feel free to post the questions in the chat box. All right. So we'll begin with the session. Shilpa ma'am, I'll share your screen here and you can take over the session now. If you have any query or like if there's any question from our audience, I'll pop up on the stage. We'll be there backstage and we'll let you know if there's any query.
Wonderful. That's good. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Okay, so we'll begin with the session now.
All right, teachers. So here we are, and here we are to discuss the EdTech Toolkit for educators. We are educators, and we traditionally use tools like a chalkboard and worksheets. We are pretty used to that. We find it like as a part of our environment, and we don't really have to think very hard about using them. But when it comes to technology and that using those tools available in the classroom, it creates a sort of a sort of a thought in our heads that, oh, how will I use it, or what will I be able to do with it? Well, we have to really reorient our minds and understand that it's a toolkit. It's something with us, to enhance, to help us or support us do our teaching and support our students learn better. All right, so once we know that it's secondary to our process of teaching learning, then we know that we have to use this tool to its optimum potential. So the basic things about teaching don't change. We are going to deliver instruction, we are going to assess our students, we are going to give them feedback. All those things don't really change. It's just the mode in which we'll do them. We will do them using edtech tools. And today we have a big nice bouquet of teaching learning tools that we have here for you. So our idea is to take you through as many tools as possible, so that you have an idea of what all is available on the horizon, and as per your need, as per what you feel fits best in your classroom, you may want to just select that. So we have divided the presentation and we'll take you through certain tools with a view that, okay, that tool can be used in this context. Say for example, you want to create content for your classroom, so this particular tool that we'll be talking about, I will be talking about, Ritika will be supporting me. Say we'll use it to create a certain content, but does not mean you cannot use the same tool to assess or to get feedback. Maybe we are in this session only focusing on one aspect of the use of the tool, but there are many many applications, and that's where the creativity, the magic of an educator, of a teacher comes into the classroom, right? So we begin with our first set of three tools that I would like to talk to you about, or three uses rather. Okay, the first one is Flipgrid. It's video diaries. We'll use it as video diaries. The second one is Book Creator, where instead of presentations, we are going to create digital books. And of course, we cannot do without presentations and mind maps, and how best we can use it. Teachers, please keep writing on the chat, where all do you think you can use these tools in the classroom. These are just suggestions coming from my end. All right. So what I have here, what you see first on the screen over here, is the landing page of Flipgrid, which is now called Flip, by the way. You will have to go through all the logins every time you go into a new tool. They'll ask you for your login. I have kind of done all that. Now, what you see over here are some of the ready-made uh, um, digital assets that they already have, just to give you an idea of what that particular tool does for you. But let me show you what I thought it best be used for. All right. So what Flip does is it provides a text prompt, okay, to which the class or your students have to answer in a video form. All right. So say, for example, you have a class and you want them to introduce themselves. So you can see that over here, there's a text prompt that is given. All right. And in response, the students can add a video. All right. So here, what we will see is that you will see that it creates a sort of a grid with many responses and are all video responses. Right. So that is the whole idea about video diaries, is where they can use it. You can rather use it in your class as a reflection tool, as a way in which they can collect all their thoughts in one place in video format, because today students are really really comfortable in the video format, right? So a very good use in our school space is where we have clubs. All right. We have sort of these activity clubs, we can call it interest clubs, like photography, money. Then you have financial literacy. All these are various extracurricular, not as a part of your usual subjects. There are many schools who run these clubs and extra interest activities, and you can use something like this for creating a group for a particular club. So say, for example, this club is the science club, and the topic at hand is Newton's law of motion. So after the introduction and general uh, uh, comments, I have put this Newton's first law. What I'm saying is, take some ordinary household object and create a video to show the first law of motion in action. So I'm not sure, science teachers, please forgive me, but I just remember one law of Newton's law, that is, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Now, if a student is to showcase their understanding of this particular concept, they can find any object in the house. Usually, it'll be a tennis ball, or it could be a pillow or anything. And then they will throw it and see how much it bounces back. So, every action having an equal and opposite reaction. That's what they have to showcase over here. So this is just one of the examples. The other example that I have over here is where, suppose you're running a cooking club, and after the introductions, there is a place where you said that, okay, let's collect all the Mexican recipes. So share your Mexican recipes, ensure it's a no fire recipe. So you can give your video instructions also, and then the responses can come in according to every child, either submitting like a narration of their recipe, or they can click photographs of the various stages in which they make the recipe, string it together as a video and put that up. So when they actually meet in class, they realize that the recipes are so many. They have a bank of recipes, and then maybe they can select something nice and make in class and have this particular page for future reference. And that way we can build all the activities that are happening in, say, a cooking club. All right. This tool can also very well be used for your own personal reflection. Teachers, we have to always record our own understanding of how the lesson went, feedback, our own reflection, what are our learnings from doing a particular activity or a lesson. We can again use this tool very effectively for that purpose. So that those are my ideas. Teachers, please put in your ideas as well. I'll be very very eager to hear these ideas. The second place where we can create content or we can create something is a very interesting, it's not a very old, very new tool. Book Creator has been there for a very long time, and yet it is really loved by teachers. When you again go to their site, you have to sign up and things like that. And the features, mainly the features of the book are very interesting. So you have various fonts. You can add images, your own photos, your own videos, music, shapes. There are various layouts of the book. So what it does is it creates something we know as EPUB, or an e-book. All right, so I have a few examples here that I can share with you. But before I share the examples, it'll be great if you can think about the ways in which we can use the book creator and start putting your ideas on the chat. It's basically preparing an EPUB or an e-book, right? Okay, so here we are. We have with what I have with me is my own creations, my own experiments. So this is the book that I made. It's called Supercharge. It's a comic format, and the whole idea is to teach the value of eating healthy. So you see some fruits over here, and it says superheroes eat fruits, and you see the drawing of a child. So, and you can add these elements to it. So that's a basic book that we have over here. Then I have also got one more example for you, which is a book where it speaks to you. So again, you can the what you may say, the fonts, etc. It's a very versatile tool. This is a photograph I have added. It says the word and then it also narrates. Kursi. I hope we could hear that. This is again a table. So in Hindi, maze. Okay. Anak. So here we are. So now this is a very interesting way of kind of learning, because if the teacher is making these books, she can make these interactive, multimedia books to introduce her content. She can ask her students to prepare a book like that from all, say, vocabulary over here that they have developed over a period of time. And then this becomes a digital asset which they can use for revision. Maybe the lower classes can use it for extra reading, etc. So these are many ways in which one can read it. So here what happens is, once you publish the book, a very unique feature I would like to point out here is that these books have an ability to be read. Okay, so I'm going to just take this. I hope there's enough text over here. So if I play the button, that is, it shows you a preview of how the book is going to look in the ebook format. All right, and there is, on the top right, there is this option of read to me. Okay, I have in the settings the choice of changing the person who's talking, all right, and the language or the diction that is being spoken to. So this is Daniel speaking for us. Supercharge. Wow. Superheroes eat fruits. Yeah. Amazing. You've reached the end of the book. Read again. Made with book creator. All right. You've reached the. So this, I hope teachers gives you an idea of the power of this book. If you saw, while the book was being read, each and every word that was being pronounced or called out, that was highlighted. All right, so this is very powerful when you are developing initial reading abilities, or you want to maintain interest in the book. There are some who are auditory learners. This kind of becomes a very powerful tool in their hands for anything that you want to teach them. Pronunciation is also very important, so when they hear the correct pronunciation, they really benefit from it. So a book creator can also be used to create projects. So we have a lot of projects in our schools, a lot of research, and if they have a fun way in which they can narrate the books, that their projects, that's very, very interesting. So I'm going to just show you how to create one more page over here, or how to create this book. So when you are in your own library, on the top you will find this plus sign. Wherever you see a plus sign means you can add an element. So here it's telling me choose the shape of your book. I can choose any of these formats. I'll go with the basic, that's portrait. Also, let me draw your attention to the fact that I can choose from various templates. So blank book, and I also have these ready-made templates to work with. So there is enough to guide you to make beautiful books. Let me start with a blank book so that there is a little clutter there. This is a blank page. It says it's the cover. And to that cover, I can add, using the plus sign, I can add images. I can use the camera to either click an image or record a video. I can use the pen tool to actually write. Then I can type my text and I can record audio. So there are so many of these multimedia elements which are simply very easy to insert. So not only us, or if you feel that a teacher does not want to spend a lot of time mastering a technology, this is very simple for her to use. There are basic shapes that are available, and a very interesting new tool that they have added in this pen tool is that normal pen tool, like, you can kind of scribble your way around and things like that. But here you can, I'll show you. What you can do is you can also have this magic pen. So if I use this magic pen and maybe I draw something like a cup, which kind of looks like a cup. Okay. Now, if you see on top, it gives me suggestions on what my cup intended to look like. It's very difficult for me to draw. So I can easily place those objects in my book. So very interesting. All the layouts are very interesting. All the formats are really interesting. If you see over here, the pages can have various backgrounds. You can also have your technical books, like handwriting books, etc. If you want to do that, then your book can have all those pages and dots, etc. as well. Or you can go for some patterns and textures, pretty ones for us over here. So a lot to explore in this. The fonts, excellent fonts are available, excellent editing tools are available for us. So that's book creator. Under the create option, the next set of tools is related to something which we all are hearing about. That's Canva. And of course, we all know that for educators, for teachers, Canva has a special licensing and it's free. Correct me if I'm wrong, Miss Ritika. It's, I think, free for educators. If the school has a login, or you can submit.
Yes, ma'am, it is completely free. And teachers, what they can do is they just have to take a printout of their offer letter or maybe their ID card, and then they can get all the premium features of Canva free of cost.
Wonderful, wonderful. So the premium features are excellent. Of course, the categories that you can create. We know our usual presentation. We know our usual docs that we use. Today, a lot of teachers are posting on social media as well. So that becomes very interesting. But I would like to draw your attention to one tool which we can use in the classroom. So if we look at the whiteboarding options. Okay, under whiteboarding they have something called mind maps, right? So here a certain category will give you the different types of mind maps that the students can create. So it's a pre-designed template, and from there they can create very interesting mind maps. And mind you, the mind maps are very, very useful in organizing the learning. So if you have a difficult concept, like especially in higher grades, there are a lot of things that they need to make connections, because like say in biology you have so many names, so many types, or in chemistry you have so many elements with their features, or with the reactions, etc. After something that you've delivered, it's a good idea to get them to create a mind map. So this is just one of the types that you can create: mind map, flow chart, and mood board, etc. But I feel mind map is a very powerful tool. That's the reason I have a couple of more tools for you on the same lines. This is Poplet. This is also a mind mapping tool. This is very straightforward and simple, and very easy to create. What you can do is, you have a central theme or idea. You can add, you can make it a certain color, you can add text to it, you can scribble inside it. Okay, and you can also add images, you can add what you may say, web links, you can add YouTube videos, you can add Vimeo links. So it's very versatile in that sense, in terms of the kind of material it can handle. So Poplet is, again, you do have a limitation in the free version of how many you can create. But this one is the one which you see on your screen. This one is a new find, and it's called Coggle, Coggle. And this one is pretty cute. because we usually like to make these tentacle like things on mind maps. That's what Tony Buzon, who was supposed to be the pioneer in understanding uh, the use and the importance of mind maps, he kind of created these in this manner, where you could kind of just play around with these connections which look like neurons in our head. And this was the only mind mapping tool which I found was very close to what it's actually meant to look like, and plus it's free for a certain amount of number of coggles that you make. So this was very interesting. Of course, you can create that diagram, and you can use it very extensively. You saw that there was an image, there was a URL, there were already text that was there. And in the same space, I have another tool called Bubble dot. I'll just sign in. Just give me a minute. It just got signed out. So here also it is similar. And again, good graphics, so your students can create it. Again, it's a limited version, so we can look at creating. Okay, this is the one I started to create today morning. So these are templates which are already there. So if I were to go and create my own new one, okay, so I will get my templates. Just allow me a minute. So here, if I say I want to create one from a template, some very interesting templates are already existing in this. So that's the reason why I found this a little easier to use as compared to some other tools. So this was a part of the create that I'm talking about video diaries in Flip or Flipgrid, digital readme books in Book Creator, presentations and mind maps in Canva, Poplet, Coggle, and Bubble.us. So this is the first set of tools. I hope you liked it. Let's move to the next category I have with you. That is interact. When you want your lessons to interact with your students, when you have a certain element of technology in their hands, okay, they can interact with you technologically, in the sense that they can send you a response on a handheld device, or even if that's not possible, at least you have some technology in the classroom. These are some tools which will be very, very interesting. Nearpod, Edpuzzle, Aha Slide. So let me just show you a few examples over there. In the meantime, your queries, your suggestions, your ideas are all welcome in the chat box.
Uh, all of them are totally loving it. We don't have any specific question as of now. It's just that Ayushi ma'am is asking if all these toolkits are free or do we need to pay for them?
So, as they always do that, the first few versions or the number of items that you can create are free. Some have a time limit, like they're free for the first 14 days. But most of them are slightly cheaper for educators as compared to others. And the most of the tools that I have showcased today are free for the limited, like 3 mind maps or certain number of presentations, that way. So yes, you can make one, delete it, then make one again, so you can
Sure.
look at that. Yeah.
And the teachers, they just loved Canva and Book Creator. So they are talking about Book Creator a lot. And
Okay.
they are loving the idea of mind mapping as well, because mind mapping, I think, is very powerful, in fact,
Yes.
for primary kids and for middle schoolers, or for senior graders as well.
Yes. Yes. And teachers, believe me, you don't have to sit and make everything yourself. See, we have limited time. We are busy. Okay. What you can do is you can make it as a part of a group assignment for your students. So you need limited number of devices or computers. You can get them together. They will talk to each other, and then they will create their own version of something that they have grasped from the class. So it serves both purposes, because once you have that ready, you can then at a later stage, when you have to revise the topic, you can use it. So that's where I feel that every time the teacher should not feel burdened that, oh, she will have to make everything from scratch. That usually comes to our mind, which I can understand, which is pretty
True, ma'am.
natural. Yes. Okay.
Okay, so let's continue.
Yes, let's go to the next category. That is the interact category. I would like to start with Nearpod. So Nearpod is, of course, a presentation lesson plan uh, 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 tool that we have, and excellent tool, because Nearpod is very versatile. It is in that sense got all the tools that you would ever think that should, you find them on fancy game shows, or you'll find them on television, or you'll find them on websites, and you would think it needs a lot of coding, and oh, it needs professionals to create it and things like that. But that's not true. uh, what I would like to show here is the one that I have prepared. Let me preview this for you. Okay. And I have created 3 slides, and in the 3 slides, there are 3 activities that our students can do. Okay, the first one is a fill in the blank activity where I want them to read this particular text very carefully. Maybe you can use it in a flipped classroom setting where you give them an article to read, but by just simply giving them an article, you would not know how they have read it. So, if you really want them to read something carefully, you can create like a fill in the blank where they kind of apply themselves into guessing what the word would be, and then they would fill it up and then read that particular uh, text. So that was the fill in the blank activity. Of course, this is a normal slide with a normal picture, etc. This is my topic: Ukraine, Russia war, and how it's going to impact. And this is another activity that I chose for my class, discussing this particular current affair. Is the place where you can put your opinions. It's like a Padlet. It's like like a pin board where each one of them can come and express something. So I've given them instructions: state any one impact in your opinion of the Ukraine-Russia war on Indian economy. Support your opinion with evidence and references. So this is a possible response that could be there. The impact will be on foreign trade, geographic importance, supply lines will be disrupted, and it's supported by an image. So you can have an image, you can have a website, you can have a document. So here I'm just going to take you to editing the lesson, and let me see if I can interest you in other things that I can add to this. All right. So I press the edit. The minute I say edit lesson, and it gives me this option of adding content and activity. These 3 were already there, and I can add content and activity. Now just see the way, I mean, the kind of stuff that's available to us today. um, the On the left hand side over here, you see the categories. In if you want to create, then the categories, you can create slides, slideshow, you can upload a PDF file, existing PowerPoint files, which is okay. You want to make it interactive, then you can add a question at any point on any video, that even if you find it on YouTube or web content or BBC video. So the FET simulations are also integrated over here, which are extremely good learning points. So if you see the simulation on the right, it gives you an idea, and then you can add your questions to it. Correct? They can manipulate their experiences. This is my favorite: quizzes and games. So here you can add a MCQ quiz. Students can respond by drawing. So as an economics teacher, for me this particular option is extremely useful, because sometimes I don't want them to write text for my answer. They have to actually draw those graphs and explain their answer. So this is one of the only tools which actually allows you to draw on the slides and as a response by the students. Fill in the blanks I had used. Memory test, it's a game, and many others, like, there is a discussion where you can create a collaborating board. That's what we did. So it's very versatile what you can create. The highlight is that you can add your own old presentations, and then in between the slides, you can introduce these interactive elements, right? So what was very interesting was that uh, i I found some ready-made ones. Okay, the ready-made uh, PPTs already, so you may just want to use those that are there. And the way it very seamlessly helps the student join. Okay, you can join it by a class code. They can just go to the website, or they can scan a QR. It's very easy to kind of get a student to quickly connect. So that part is very easy. So if your students have mobile phones in their hands, and you want it to be interactive, or some poll you want to conduct, etc., it's very easy that they can be on that particular lesson, and you can conduct it. A very similar tool I found was in this particular tool called Aha Slides. Now again, Nearpod has limitations. It's a paid tool at the end of the day, but Aha Slides is completely free, and I feel it has it's a bit more powerful than Nearpod. I may be wrong actually. So here, what you can do is it's a normal presentation. You can, if you can see on the top right next to new slide, you can import your slides. You can import already existing. Suppose you have an existing slide show, you can import it, and then you can insert questions, or you can insert certain types of content. So can you see on the right hand side, quizzes and games, opinions and question answers, content slides. So there are many, the word cloud, brainstorming. You'll see that little what you may say preview of how the participants will see this content, and then of course the design of it, you can add audio to it, etc. So I just wanted to show you, the only thing is that since we don't have participants right now on this slide, we may not be able to see. So the whole idea, say if I press present, and this is the QR code with which you can join. It'll be great if we can join and see how the impact is. Ritika ma'am, would you like to
Sure,
just join and see? And
sure,
others
ma'am.
also just want
Try.
to join and see and try. Um, so you will get the question, and you will get to participate in a sort of a poll, or you have to give like a range of values, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, so I would request everyone to scan the QR code and join this.
Yeah. The I think the limitation on this is that I think there are only X number of people who that the slide allows, and I get a heart, and I get someone who's oh, that many hearts, and do I get a response? Is there anything? Sorry,
Okay.
is it showing something?
I'm just able to send you the emojis. I'm not able
Emojis,
to
is
send
it?
a
Okay.
response. Yeah.
How about this first slide? How which tech tool do you use to increase classroom engagement? If this is like a open-ended.
Okay, I'm sending my answer.
Okay, great, perfect.
Okay, so I've sent my answer, ma'am.
Okay, so it should show. Yeah, this is one of the response. Which tech tool do you use to increase classroom engagement? As participants will type, it will just start collating on its own.
Okay, so we're getting the responses now. Nearpod,
Yes.
Quizzle.
Yeah, I am. That's fantastic. And of course, I love the emojis part of it also, because today students express themselves, or at least we can give feedback in the form of these emojis. It's become a very important feedback too, right?
True.
Yes.
And I think it's important that the students also get a chance to participate in the
Yes.
teaching learning process. Otherwise, what happens is it becomes very monotonous if the teacher only is teaching in the class.
Absolutely. And to tell you the truth, the students always go back to these, and it becomes very important for revision tools. It's a labor saving method also for the teacher, because at the end of the day, she doesn't have to repeat herself again and again.
True.
So that way is, yet I see Nearpod still has more votes than AHA slides. Come on, guys.
I have heard about our slides today only. I never heard about it before. So I'm
I see.
totally loving it.
Yeah, please explore it, and please help us understand this tool better. It seems to have a lot of potential. They already have, again, ready-made templates that we can use. So
Yes.
this is a good library that they have, and we should make use of it. I guess we can kind of use it. Okay,
True.
I go to the next tool, that is Edpuzzle. Okay, this is again in our create in our interact category. All right. So here, what they're doing, Edpuzzle people are saying there's too much video already there. There's too much content already there. All right. You don't need to recreate. You don't need to make everything all over again. You pick your content. You pick your piece of content, maybe a YouTube video or anything. You select that, and in between that, as the video is playing, in between you can ask your questions. That's how you will make that particular lesson interactive, right? So here, this is a normal YouTube video, and on the right hand side, if you see, there are certain multiple choice questions which Suppose I am the teacher, I am the one who is creating these questions. Okay, the person who's created this video has just created a flat ongoing video, but students will watch it, and in between there will be checks.
You may remember.
So I'm just forwarding to that part.
And that's what the word triangle means. Tri means three, and angles means angles.
So here the video kind of halts or it pauses, and on the right I have this question: what do triangles have? Three sides and three angles. And I submit, and I get 100 out of 100. So a little bit of uh, incentive over there as well. And once I have crossed that stage, I will
that's easy
continue
enough.
the
Three
video.
sides.
Right. So this makes the student engaged, and suppose he's doing something at home, again in a flipped classroom situation, you want the student to watch the videos, and you do not know whether the student has watched the video or no. So this is a check for you, because until unless they pass all the questions, they will not be able to go ahead. So therefore their attention is there. And again, there are various formats of questions that you can add. So the question types can be multiple choice, open ended, you can add a note, etc. So this tool also is simpler than the other tools. These are a little crowded, little comprehensive, the other two, but I find this tool very simple and very useful in a flipped classroom situation where you want them to do some sort of pre-reading or pre-work and come. So going back to the three that we have covered so far, let's go to the main part of why we exist, that is to assess the students for learning, right? Apparently teaching is important, but assessment is the thing. Okay. And I'm sure that we have now realized, especially after the COVID scenario, that there's only not just one way to assess the students. We have now adopted the multiple choice questioning formats. We have adopted the quizzing format, the gaming element of it, where you have an incentive, you have a score, you have the yays and the claps and all that happening in the background that motivate the students. They keep their attention, because again, what COVID has done for us is they've made our students very, very fickle. It's very difficult to keep their attention in place for a long time. So tools are here for us. They are there at our rescue. Quizzes, Kahoot, Gimkit. I'm just going to look at how I can best show you these tools. We looking at assessing. Okay. So I'm sure most of us teachers have heard about Kahoot, and it's very popular. And again, it's become there's very little free stuff on it now that I realize that. So of course there is already the discover part of it, where as an all ready-made uh, Kahoots are there, and you can choose a quiz or you can create your own. Now, the beauty about Kahoot is that already a lot of ready-made content is there. Okay, and great organizations, universities, companies have collaborated with the Kahoot, and they have given some very interesting quizzes. Right, my favorite in my class was Harry Potter. So if you have a substitution period, if you have a teacher who is not going to be able to take her particular class and you are kind of stepping in, or some extra time is available, this particular site has a lot of content, a lot of stuff available for us. And if you want to create as well, you can do that. You can create your own. And I have one that is again made from a template. So teachers, please make use of the templates, because they are really useful. So in the template, in fact, there was I was able to add some questions as well. The questions, they just pulled, so it was kind of set for me already, and then I have to just replace it. And suppose I'm anyway the biology teacher, I would be able to use whatever they've already given to me as well. So I won't spend more time on Kahoot. Let me take you to quizzes. Quizzes again is also a very popular tool. Okay, and today the library itself is very well furnished. It's got and I just find the user interface a little cleaner than Kahoot. It's easy for me to focus. There's a little less noise over here, but it's a neatly placed uh, tool, and you see that the tools are arranged subject wise, it's easy to find, etc. And of course, you can also create your own. You can create your own. The tools that we saw with AHA slides and with Nearpod, the kind of questions you can create them here also. Again, my favorite is I found a quiz on supply. I just typed the keyword and I said, okay, I want to create a quiz on supply. And it already had some questions. So all I had to do was pull them in. One very interesting thing I forgot to tell you about AHA Slides was that AHA Slides is something like a spinner, or that game in the game show you have in the Jeopardy and all those game shows, like a spinner that goes on and then it arrives at a particular stop. So a lot of these tools have these very interesting gaming elements, which we must consider when we are creating this. So of course, this is a boring looking economics uh, question, and of course it'll be interesting for the students, because when you're creating it, it looks as vanilla as it can, the way it is. But when you preview it, when you actually go to play it, it's a beautiful screen. Okay, here.
I would just like to add one point here.
Yes.
Quizzes is not just about making quiz only. You can also make lessons and use ready-made PPTs. And also now quizzes has come up with a paper form as well, so which you can use in
Yes.
your offline classroom. So this is one point that I wanted to add because I am using it in my class.
Correct. In fact, that was something which I really found very interesting. I have it right here. I hope this is the one you're mentioning,
Yes, this
Ms.
one.
Yeah. So what the children don't need the devices in their hands as such. You can just have these printed for them. All right, and just by holding it in a certain direction, they can register their response to a question. So you can print these and laminate these and use this in the class. So you don't really want to have devices you want to manage in the hands of the students. This is excellent, because then it becomes a pen and paper, but you don't have to correct it because the results are collated on their own.
True. And
So
most of the schools, because they're not having one-to-one devices, so I think this
yes,
option of printing out the QR codes and then using it in all the classes makes more sense.
absolutely, I agree. I absolutely agree. That's a fantastic way. Like I said, draw the LARS. LR stands for long run. AS stands for aggregate supply curve. Let me tell you how it looks. So you have this pencil, and I think the students can draw, if I'm not mistaken. I hope it kind of works. I think it is. Let me draw. I think it's taking time to load the tool. Okay, teachers, we'll get back to this, but you get an idea of how versatile the tool can get. And now the limitation of having a lot of devices in the hands of the students has also gone away. So please utilize this tool. It's really, really good. Okay. The third one in assess we have got is Gym Kit or Gim Kit. I'm not sure how it's said. This has like a reasonably good set of questions. As in, it has got these ready-made kits, and you can make your own kit. What you mean by a kit is a set of questions. All right. Now, what it does is it tries to gamify your question. So it says that you solve number of questions and you will get points, or you will get in how in games you'll get some ammunition, or you'll get some lives or something like that. And then you can go and play the game. You can play like a flash based those video games kind of thing. So you can play it live, like say for example, if I look at the fractions game, these are the questions. There are some 81 questions that are there. And again, if I assign it, if I play it live, then again it give me a QR code, and I can, so say maybe I want to do fishing and I want to play a fishing game. So I can decide the name and go ahead. So it just converts it automatically into a game. Okay. Of course, I'm the host, so it'll display a code or something. One will have to go to the website and, if possible, play the game. Uh, yeah, that's me. And if a few of us would like to enter the code and join, if you type in your browser gimkit.com/join and enter this code, we will be able to play the game. It's a fractions game, teachers. So maybe one or two of us can try. Ritika ma'am, how are we doing with the time? Should we? Um,
Yes, ma'am. I think it's going fine. And we also have a question regarding GimKit. Can we make our own questions on GimKit? Is it
yes,
possible?
yes, it's possible to make your own questions. So you can make kits. I'm just going to get back to that option. New kit on the right and top corner. If you
Okay.
say new kit, that is where you will make your own question answers. And if
All
you
right.
go to search kits, that lets you search from their repository. So to
Okay.
make a
Sounds cool.
kit, yeah. Let's see how the game is, because I didn't have anyone to play with me, so I didn't really get to play
I
much.
am joining in soon.
Please join in to play with me.
Okay, I would request everyone to please join here and let's compete.
Let's yeah, let's do something. Yeah, there's a yeah, the competition element is very important. So
Exactly.
yes,
So I'm almost there.
yeah, I see you. I see you. Ritika
Okay.
ma'am, I have one player, and maybe one more can join. It'll be great if two of y'all can shoot at each other. I'll be okay.
I would love to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can go to gimkit.com and then put a slash and write down the word which is join. And once you enter the URL, you have to enter the code which is 829317. So I would request someone to join in as well from our audience.
Just one person is good. Oh yes, we have. Fazia, thank you. Oh, Ayushi, all right, great. So let me start the game and let's see how we play.
I'm not sure what I'm doing, but
Just try something. So you have to, I think, question answering station. You can go to the
okay.
question answering station and answer some questions. Ritika, you're going. I have water. Oh yes, Aneri knows what to do. Okay, even I know what to do. Oh, I see you.
I'm really,
Yes.
really bad at this.
Oh yeah, I get a question. I'm going to collect a few baits. I think we have to collect a few baits by answering some questions. I have got two. Okay, I have three baits. Now, what am I to do with the baits?
Now I've become very competitive. I want to win this now.
Yeah, catch fishing rod. Where is the fishing rod? Falling through water. Am I expected to fish?
This is really fun, ma'am. I think kids are going to
Yeah,
love
that's cute graphics, right? So,
it. Yes.
okay. Welcome to the fish collection. All right. So, do we get a drift of what we are doing over here, guys?
Yeah.
Teachers?
I think they have joined through phone, so now they're not able to join, but that's completely all right. I mean,
All
I
right.
have played it. I can vouch for it now.
So we'll just stop this for the minute, because sorry, just interrupting your experience right now. So teachers, this is a very interesting thing. Only thing is that again, this has a free trial version of 14 days you can play, and then you will have to subscribe to it. So that way it's got its limitations. So you may have multiple email accounts with which you can just kind of have it have keep using it for different parts of the year or something like that. That's one kind of way of looking at it. All right, so this we had the quizzes, Kahoot, and Gimkit or Gymkit. Okay. The next few tools are new and upcoming, and the particular category that I'm showing here is the Explore category, which talks about content-heavy websites or tools that are sitting uh, on our systems, and we can use them to engage students in a very virtual way, to experience. Now it's all become about experiencing. If some of us went to the Van Gogh exhibition in Mumbai, that they had the experiential thing where you have to experience the art rather than just consuming it as an image. So there are a few of those that I have. These are new tools, very, very interesting. So let's look at them. So under the explore category, Google Arts and Culture. Okay, it's very interesting. They are updating, and they every year, sorry, every day they have a new theme. It's a great way to explore art in terms of uh, if you're an art teacher, definitely it's the museums coming to the masters coming to sit and in front of you. And the best part about it is that this is not just simply just putting these museum and their content here. You can in fact explore in terms of activities. Okay, you can play games, so that's really nice, that's very interesting. And what I found very interesting was that, say for example, I get interested in this 360 degrees video experience culture, because I saw that Van Gogh, and I think this is similar to that, art in all angles, and I view something like this. Okay, and the minute I do that, after I finished a certain amount of viewing, I get a badge. So the highlight is that I am interested, I'm looking at something, and for simply exploring something, I get rewarded. I'll get the badge to kind of take a good view, to zoom into an artwork, I will get a badge. So that's very interesting. That's really something, which will motivate students to kind of collect different badges, and you can make it an activity in your class. Also, the play option is really interesting. It's small games, just like we had in Gym Kit, puzzles, crosswords, coloring book. Again, somewhere, some reference to some artwork or some culture or some, some country and its themes. So that's again all there for us. Very useful in the substitution period. Suppose you are on field trips, or you are, have that extra lecture for projects. Very, very good, very authentic information. And this is very, very interesting. I really particularly like this. Was you can explore the map and actually look for things which are close to home. It's not about only Europe, or it's not only about United States. It's pretty universal. It's got, if you zoom out and you can go into any country, and suppose I go to India, I'm interested in what they're showing here. And if I go to, say, down south, or if I go somewhere, I'm sorry, just give me a minute. If I go close to where I am, that is Mumbai, and I zoom into it, it tells me all these places of interest. And on the left hand side, I've got, I've actually living here, I would not know that these exist. And suppose I go to Chhatrapati Shivaji Sangrahalaya, what I see is on the left hand side, they've said they have all the artifacts that are there in the museum. You can actually view them up close. Okay, they have very high density images, and you can explore. So close to home also, our own museums have been digitized for us. So history teachers, art teachers, social studies teachers, we can, or actually history of any concept is always, epistemology of a concept is always taught. So somewhere we can pick up from these assets that we have over here, beautifully curated. And then of course create our own questioning for it and things like that. So this was something which I really was proud to see. It was not only about the Met Museum all the time. So there are some experiments also that they have done. You can try that. The next tool, this is only accessible on our mobile devices, but I would just like you to have a look at it. What it does is, on your mobile phones or on any mobile devices, you have to download the Google search engine or the search app. Okay, and once you do that, on the bar over here, you get the camera option. So what it does is, if you have this and from your phone you point at a certain plant, or you point at a certain object or a certain text, it will give you similar images that's there, but it will also start, it's like a beginning of AI. It will just kind of give you information around it, what it's called, how do you look after that plant, where is it found, all the information by looking at it visually rather than you typing the name. Okay, so the search is kind of refined over here. So very interesting for students to explore their own environment. See, sometimes we just see them in books, and it's sometimes out of context for them. They don't see those plants, they don't see those objects, they don't see those seasonal changes in leaves in their own country. But of course, if they use Google Lens, then that in their own environment, they can put the things in context, right? We have Google Earth. This is again a very important and interesting tool for geography students. Then this is something that I really liked. It's a game, again a gaming experience, again exploratory in nature. It's like a scavenger hunt, also loosely called treasure hunt, right? So what we have over here is we can create a treasure hunt. So I'm just looking for something I've already created. Let's look at this. This was a draft. So it already has a set of questions that you can choose from. All right. And on the left hand side, you see those. I hope I'm able to showcase this. Okay. So here, if you have certain missions, yeah. So say if you have this particular mission, believe in your selfie. That means you have to go places and click your selfie and come. So it's like it's a group activity or a team building activity. You can actually tell students to explore a certain place and reach that place and click a selfie in real time and send it to you. Okay, so here you can take responses in photos only. Then you can also have them create videos like a karaoke star. So they have to get to complete the mission. They have to kind of complete the task. There are some pre-made missions as well. So you will see they already have some. So let's just choose one. Maybe make a tower of pennies at least 30 high. Team members must be in the picture. So that's like one of the tasks that you add to your mission, and they are supposed to. So these are the missions, one after the other, that they must complete, and the scoreboard is visible over here. So again, this is very good for team building. Did you like the tool?
Yes,
It
ma'am,
would
we
be
are
great
liking
if
it.
I.
And there's a question.
Yes.
Gitanjali ma'am is asking if this is an open source software, Goose Chase.
Goose Chase, yes, it's a web-based facility. So you have to again log in. Once you log in, you will be able to create, and you have a leaderboard, etc. You can. It's free.
Perfect.
So it's
And teachers
web-based.
are
You just
loving
go to
it.
googlechase.com and you'll be able to do that.
Okay, ma'am, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And the last one, all sides. Here is something which I feel is very important in today's day and age, where media can, I mean, we see a lot of misuse of the media and the power. And here, what you see is that suppose you're searching for a certain kind of news, it gives you that news from all perspectives. That is the center, left, and right. Uh, I would be really glad to use something like that in my classroom, because most of the times if you put it up as a discussion, it becomes, I wouldn't say debate, it becomes an argument, and you see that the class polarizes. There is one who's just on one end and the other who are on the other end, and somewhere they are reflecting something that they've already read, or their Facebook feed has kind of thrown that to them, or the way their searches are, the keywords that they're using, the news comes up or their information comes up. So they kind of get a lopsided view of things. So here is a tool which could be used, or similar tools could be used to understand all sides of the story, which is important. Even if you use this in support of any GK program or the MUN program that you're doing in your school, or you're doing current affairs, you must look at this website, just so that students get an idea that there are always perspectives to the same thing, that way. So this was something which I thought I should share with teachers, uh, to just bring in that idea. So that is explore for you, explore the world around us with these tools. uh, the next category of tools is called curate. Now, why do we say curate? as teachers, we find a lot of resources. We create a lot of resources. We need a lot of resources, right? And now that the digital space has just exploded for us, it's become another area which is a bit difficult to handle or manage. And also, another thing is that we should be able to showcase. It just becomes a big, sorry for the word, it becomes a big khichdi over there, and we don't know how to put our best foot forward. So there are two tools which are very interesting in that space. I would like to share. One is Wakelet. Wakelet is getting a lot of positive response in the education field. What Wakelet does for you is it creates a collection. Okay, now the good part about this collection, we've heard the word collections. You go to any web browser, they can create collections for us. There are some websites which say that, okay, you want XYZ pages. Like if you go to Google search or Google News will say, okay, this is the keyword, let me collect all the news articles for you with that search. But suppose we as teachers, we need news, we need images, we need videos, we need a text, we have our own PDFs, we have our own slides, we have a lot going for us, right? And plus our information is very dynamic. Every time we have to bring in the latest or the newest in the classroom. We can't afford to be uh, there. So say if I'm talking about my subject, the union budget comes out every year, and it is a topic. We talk about the government budget in standard 12, and every time the newspaper gives me a lot of information and beautiful graphics. Plus I have some own reading. The economic survey comes up, which is a PDF, which if not read, I would at least like to keep it as reference and pull it up whenever the need comes. So what you can do here is you can create a space, and in the space I have two collections here. Collection under budget 22-23 and budget 23-24. I'm going to show what I have under budget 23-24. What I can add to my collection, what are the different types of things I can add is, I can add a web page, I can add images, video, bookmarks, PDF, and input from these apps. All right, so I can have a flip video also over here, YouTube video, etc. So versatile things I can add under this one little topic, and whenever I need it for my students or whenever I need to use it, I have it handy. So this is a photograph that I took from the newspaper. This is a beautiful graphic which they kind of publish. Now otherwise it would be in my images in some folder, and I would not be able to retrieve it when I need it. Right now over here, whenever I need it, I can retrieve it, show it from here itself, share it with my students. They can zoom in, they can kind of have a look at it, and that would be very, very easy for me. So I'm just trying to get out of it. Yeah. What I also have are a couple of news articles. One is the India Times of India group, and here what I have done is I have actually put a web page. Now, Economic Times on that budget day or on that particular topic budget has a lot of articles that were written. Expert views were given. The main text of our Honorable Finance Minister speech, budget speech, that is there, which is available. So now there's so many articles, and also what I did was I just searched, and whatever was relevant, I put that link in Wakelet. So I can go back to this page with these searches whenever I want. It won't update for me. It is just about the budget. Then I have the PDF itself, that is the text of the budget. Okay, so or someone's synopsis. I don't quite recall what it was. Let it load. In the meantime, what is also interesting is that I can add my own descriptions. I can add a little bit of note here and there. So that's very, very interesting. So this is my union budget. This became my bigger, larger folder in which now I'm going to place every year the details about the budget. Like I made a PPT. So that PPT I can upload over here, and then over the years how the budget fared, I'll know, or at least I can share it with the students. Like this allows me to share an invite. I can publish the link. I can use it in Google Classroom. I can generate a QR code. So there are a variety of ways in which I can use it. I've made a simple collection. I've not added it to a space. Say stop motion animation. Very interesting, very cute. So here again, see this particular first note is a note I have written. From my research, I have found out that there are various types of stop motion animation. Then I have a few websites which are either video tutorials or they are some guides that I found. So maybe at a later date when I have some student work, I can start uploading them over here. So it stays in one place. So very very convenient way to curate and actually be able to access when you need it. Right, especially teachers when we are actually just going home in our vehicles and our transport, and then we find something that is very relevant, and then we forget the next day because we think, oh, yeah, yeah, we'll show our students this, and then we've forgotten about it, where it was, and we keep finding it, which this can prevent because you can just directly file it under something. So I hope this was useful. They already have some pre uh, decided collections. Chat GPT is again something which is very, very popular these days. So you have a lot of articles already there. Okay, so it's a good community to be associated with. Only suggest intelligent articles I see. The next tool is called Bulb. Okay, this is a story portfolio kind of. You can create your own portfolio, which I feel very is very important for the teachers as well as the students. So uh, I have some suggestions on how we can use it. Very easily, the teacher can use, our teacher can use it to create the student portfolio. So this is one place where this particular student, Navendu Kala, I have put all his work over here. Okay, this is kind of a image gallery that I have created. Okay, there are various things that you can do. So if I see the plus, you see these are the items that you can add. You can add an image, a carousel, which you saw the spinning images, video, a file. You can record your audio or have an audio file, web page, web link, table, divider, things like that. So very, very interesting. You can keep it private, teachers. See, this is the message. If you don't wish, you can keep this very private. You can also only share it with a few people, or you may choose to publish it on a larger scale or on to a larger audience. So that is very, very important. So it's not that you go to a website which is free and then you lose control over, or you lose your ability to have the privacy on that. If you have a hobby, like I have a hobby, I like I have I'm a classical dancer, so I have some videos, I have some things I can create my portfolio. That idea came to me when I was looking at this tool. So another use of it is sharing class photographs. Of course, the printed form we give them, but what if with that class itself, only that class or only that parent body, we are able to share these images? So it remains private in that sense, but it's also available to them when they need it, or when they wish to see, when they wish to go back into memory lane in that sense. So a variety of uses. Very importantly, you can make your own resume also and your portfolio. If you're an artist already, um, a podcaster, you can use this. There are already, again, resource library, and it's well equipped. You'll see a few examples over there. Okay, so that were the two apps I wanted to share with you: Wakelet and Blue app. Okay. Ritika ma'am, I'll just take another 5 minutes to do this, and then I would request you to take this
Sure, ma'am.
forward.
No problem at all.
Okay. So the next category, teachers, is build. Now, when I call this build, build is again not, it's different from create. When we are saying building, we are building on to something which is already there. So I have these suggestions of these two excellent resources which we teachers can use to incorporate something which is very relevant in today's day and age. And again, we can use this as not exactly sorry, just one minute. Yeah, we can use this in our life skills program. We can use this as an after school. We can use this as enhancement, like a co-curricular uh, activity. So these are two websites. The first one is commonsense.org. Again, the resources are absolutely free. The larger theme of this website is digital literacy, media literacy. So since we see that all our students are digital natives rather, and they are digital citizens, how to conduct yourself, how the school can prevent misuse, or teach the students the right way to conduct and utilize these tools. The common sense uh, curriculum is very well established, and it's free to use. So they have these curriculum where they have lesson plans, they have activities which are graded. If you see games, activity, it's beautiful, the content is very good. Okay. And you'll see that you can also become a trained uh, uh, trainer with them. You can uh, enhance your own CV by actually going through their courses and having that digital literacy feather in your cap. And they have for educators, they have for parents, and you will see that there is a uh, lot of impact that these guys are creating. So it's really good resources, very well organized website. And like I said, if you want to run a enhancement program, you have some free time in the curriculum. I know we don't have, but still if you have the need to introduce something which is a very important life skill, this is a very good set of resources you can use. The last one is Everfee. So, what started off as a life skill for digital literacy has now grown to become different kinds of life skill. So, you can look at courses. They have many. I'll go to that what kind of courses they have, but I would like to show you. You can create a class and conduct it like an LMS. Let's have a look at one of the courses. So, if I'm looking at Money Move, modern banking and identity protection, that is, not to get your passwords and all hacked, etc. So you can create a class and conduct it. You can have your students join it. But let's preview the course. Let's see what kind of material they have. So you'll see over here, this is how the particular course begins. And they have videos, they have interactive animations, worksheets, etc. And you can actually say that it's very, very good and useful.
My nephew Lawrence messed up. I thought he was doing fine when it came to managing his money, but I was wrong. He still had so much to learn. It all started when he was hanging out with his friends at the hub.
So then it's a very comic strip
Hey, Sunil,
kind of.
Can I get a slice of pizza and a fountain drink?
So here I will not take further time, but a very relevant, very important things that we must teach our students. And Everfee is one place where these are again
Hey, Sunil, can I
freely
get a slice of
available.
pizza?
So these resources are free to use. I'd like to now show you all the types of courses that are available. Again, the theme of the courses are safety driven, literacy driven. So, financial education, social emotional learning, health and wellness, career and college readiness, very, very important. Early learning, diversity, equity, and inclusion. We teachers can learn a lot. STEM, a very, very popular theme nowadays in a lot of our schools. So, you can run these as ready made programs very easily. So, that's what we have. This is just something for you guys to explore. Please write this word Plameo. It has some games which you can use in your class. It's a good repository of icebreakers and 1 minute games at your own teachers day party, or potluck parties or something like that, or some, if beginning of the school Christmas party at school, you guys can play. It's good fun. These games are really nice. So I'm not going to show that. I'm just going to now request
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
Ritika
Thank you
ma'am
so much,
to
ma'am.
take
I
over.
think that was great. I mean, all the teachers, they were completely blown away. Especially, they
Thank
were
you.
like, liking how we can use all these edtech tools. So, without further ado, I'll quickly share my screen and take you further towards the end of
Yes.
the session. So, I just wanted to talk about few AI tools because we are hearing AI tools a lot. We are hearing a lot about ChatGPT, Quillbot, Grammarly. What are these tools? So ChatGPT is a tool where you can, like, it's a bit controversial tool if the students are going to use it and, like, to cheat or not to write on their own. But for teachers, I think it is magical. I have been using ChatGPT and I'm completely addicted to it. So it can write uh, on anything, on any topic that you give. It can help you to prepare lesson plan, worksheet, quizzes. You can search for certain types of skills, how to prepare your learning objectives. So ChatGPT, you just name it and ChatGPT can help you with that. Quillbot is an AI tool which helps you to paraphrase something, helps you with the grammar portion. Then again, Grammarly is an AI tool. It basically works as a Chrome extension, where if you're writing something, it helps with the grammar suggestions, how you can frame your sentences properly. So Grammarly is my favorite tool which I use. I always have it as an extension on my Chrome browser. Then Slides AI is a tool which helps you to create PPTs. It is basically an extension for Google Slides, where you just type out the content or the main headings, and then it can prepare an entire slide, an entire PPT for you. The last one we have is draw.io. You can give the keywords. It is basically an AI tool for enriching the vocabulary among the students. So you can just give the tools or give the words, and then it can prepare cartoon characters, and then you can integrate with this tool with your Google Drive as well, or Google Slides as well. We Just to let you know, we are going to take up AI tools in the next session, which we are going to have in the month of March. So we are going to cover all these AI tools in details. So stay tuned, and we will be sharing important tools, edtech tools with you under the heading as social learning, learning content, lesson planning, and useful tools. So this PDF is what we will be sharing at the end of the sessions in your mail to all the registered participants. So you can just go through it. These are links. Basically, you click on it and it will take you to that particular edtech tool. And last but not the least, I'm sharing the feedback form with you all. So I would
Those were
request everyone to
wonderful,
fill that.
wonderful tools you shared about AI, and that's being viewed as a next challenge for us teachers. But I'm sure the way we are so creative and adaptive that we will definitely know how best to use it for our students. Looking forward to the training, to the
Yes, I would
session.
request Ayushi ma'am to be there on the stage as well. Thank you, Ayushi ma'am, for being a wonderful host. And thank you, Shilpa ma'am, for
Thank
all
you
those
for the
amazing tools that you
opportunity.
have shared. It was
Thank you.
great. And it is always lovely to have a session with you. Trust me.
Thank you so much. I love to be a part of this and be a part of Learning Jar. You guys are doing a fantastic job with whatever, all the things that you are doing.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So I would request everyone
Thank you so
to like, share, and subscribe. Subscribe. Yes, Ayushi ma'am. You can go ahead.
Yes, I said that. Thank you so much, ma'am, for the wonderful session. It was very informative, and I will surely find ways so that we can implement that in our classes as well.
Thank you so much, Ayushman. Thank you.
And thank you for the audience for sticking through and
Yes.
being a part of this session. So we'll see you again. Bye bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.